pours onto the streets. Farmers from Maharashtra say enough is enough, and citizens feel the heat. Vegetable prices in Mumbai and parts of Maharashtra have doubled and tripled overnight.
ये जो ज़्यादा करके बाहर से आए हैं, खाली 20% आया होगा माल, स्टॉक किया उसका बारे में, लेकिन बाकी माल सब बाहर से आया है, महाराष्ट्र का माल नहीं है।
इससे तो बहुत हो गया है, माल का कमी है, माल कोई आ नहीं रहा है, सब लोग वहाँ पर बंद किए हुए हैं। अच्छा। हाँ, जो था कल का जो माल आया हुआ था वही सब माल सेल हुआ है आज।
धनिया देखो 100 रुपया बंडल बिक रहा है। अच्छा। कल 15 रुपया था, 20 रुपया था। पालक का 30 रुपया भाव हो गया। ऐसे सब भाव डबल हो गया है।
Local consumer, because the farmer has a problem, we don't know what is the exact problem. The government should look into it. This is really a big problem with the common woman.
Farmers in Maharashtra took to the streets on the 1st of July. Dramatic visuals of these farmers destroying their produce has created a ripple effect. Retailers have started hiking prices, anticipating a supply shortfall.
Due to farmer strike, Mumbaikars not going to face only the problem of vegetable and fruit supply, but also might face the problem of milk supply.
मार्केट बंद होने की वजह से इतना तकलीफ है और कोई भाजी मार्केट में है ही नहीं और यहाँ कस्टमर आकर वापस जा रहे हैं।
जो 20 रुपये किलो भाजी था आज डायरेक्ट 100 रुपये किलो भाजी मार्केट में हुआ है, उससे बहुत फर्क गिरा है क्योंकि हम लोग भी धंधा करने वाले यहीं से माल लेके जाने वाला, जब माल ही नहीं आएगा मंडी में तो जहाँ 50 ट्रक आता था वो जगह पे 10 ट्रक आ रहा है।
Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has already made it clear that the state cannot afford to waive off farmer loans completely. But farmers clearly aren't willing to budge, and the anger was palpable on the streets on the second consecutive day. But caught in the crossfire are the citizens. For the first time in decades, farmers are on an indefinite strike, and while citizens suffer, politics seems to have taken the center stage.
महाराष्ट्र में 4000 से भी ज़्यादा किसानों ने आत्महत्या की है 3 सालों में। नई सरकार आने के बाद अब किसान अपना पूरा अनाज, दूध हो, सब्जी हो, रास्ते पे फेंककर आंदोलन कर रहा है और पुलिस की ताकत से आप उसको कुचल नहीं सकते।
तुम्हाला मला सगळ्यांना एक गोष्ट आश्वस्त करते आणि ती म्हणजे शेतकऱ्यांची आत्महत्या। या आत्महत्या वाढत आहेत।
वो कोई ऐसा हमारे किसी ने शिकायत की तो हम उनको ऊपर कार्रवाई करेंगे, उसका कोई शिकायत आती है तो तुरंत कार्रवाई करने वाले।
But these assurances have failed to allay the concerns of the protesting farmers as the nation boils and prices of essential commodities touch new highs. It is a question of who will blink first, farmers or the government. Mirror Now report.
Well, it's the second day of the farmers' strike, and we as citizens have begun to feel the heat. In Mumbai and Pune and several parts of Maharashtra, vegetable prices have doubled and in some cases tripled across the state. What are these farmers striking for? They want loans without interest. They want uninterrupted power supply. They want a pension scheme for farmers. This doesn't seem to be very high demands. The state government turning around and saying that this is probably entirely politically motivated. But what's happening right now? Food is being dumped on the roads. Essential commodities, vegetables, milk being made more expensive in our cities. We don't know if this is because people in the markets are driving up the prices because they see an opportunity to make a profit, or if because food is actually in short supply. But the question we're asking is, why isn't the government doing enough to solve the problem? Should we really have to pay double and triple the price of tomatoes and vegetables before the problem is solved? Joining me on the show this evening, Aarti Sate, BJP spokesperson and advocate; Sanjay Jha, national spokesperson of the Congress; Clyde Crasto, spokesperson of the NCP; Chengal Reddy is a farmer activist; Satyajit is an organic farmer and a technocrat. He's also an ex-banker. Yogesh Pandey is the spokesperson of the Swabhimani Shetkari Sangatana. I welcome all of you to the show. And I want to understand what the problem really is. and if the government is doing enough to solve that problem. I want to start with Satyajit, and the reason why we have representation from various political parties is because the government of Maharashtra has repeatedly said that this is a politically motivated strike and the real farmers of Maharashtra are not the ones who are striking. Satyajit, do you believe that the farmers of Maharashtra are in distress and the strike is warranted?
Yeah, hi. Evening, everybody. I really believe that what is going on has, a very real basis. What you mentioned, farmers are striking for, a loan waiver for basic infra facilities like water, electricity, and stable market prices. This sounds like something that is being demanded 50 years back, 40 years back, 30 years back. Nothing has been met on date as such. We are facing all these basic infra problems and basic market price problems. So what happened previously, now this government, it's looking like they're insensitive to what the farmers want. No one understands the problems that farmers are facing right now. So it's very true, and farmers are, it's a pent-up problem for the last 60 years that's bursting out right now.
It's a pent-up problem for the last 50 years, and that should actually bring us to the opposition parties that are currently with us as well. Sanjay Jha, pent-up problem for the last 50 years would mean that this is not necessarily something you can blame the current government on. Every government that has been in charge of this state needs to take responsibility.
Well, I think we can start by even blaming the British, and before them we can blame the Mughals, and before them we can blame the Afghans. But this is the height of political irresponsibility, that you have a government in the center and the state for the last 3 years. And when you have proved to be thoroughly incompetent, all you can do is to beat up the leaders of the parties of the past. I mean, this is ridiculous. End of day, let me tell you the truth, Faye. What is happening today is a very stark reality that we need to confront, which is that if you look at the first 2 years of this government, you had negative growth in agriculture. Even if you look at this current year, where they were boasting of a lot of farm output on account of better monsoons, in effect it has not translated a lot into the gains for the farmers. If that was the case, the farmers' suicide numbers would actually come down. In fact, they are galloping at an extremely alarming rate. The fact that today you have had BJP leaders, I can quote many of them, who have been making statements like, it's a fashionable statement, end of day farmer suicides is nothing but, even an actress hasn't committed suicide when she's seen a bad situation. Why should the farmers commit suicide? So it's basically they are not in sync with reality. I'll give you one simple example and then we can have a long debate. Mr. Modi had promised in the 2014 elections that they will give every farmer in India a 50% markup on the minimum support price. This government has blatantly reneged on that promise. There is a very famous agriculture economist in India called M.S. Swaminathan. He's given a whole set of recommendations to improve agricultural productivity and to enhance the quality of lives of farmers. Nothing has been implemented. They will keep talking about crop insurance. Ask them how much of crop insurance has been really utilized. So end of day, this is a suit boot ki sarkar. I'm sorry, this political line is the ultimate truth of this government.
Let me take this question to Aarti Sathe Sanjay Jha, who represents the government right now. Aarti Sathe, what is your response to what Sanjay Jha is saying? Let's remember also there are waivers being offered to large corporates. Air India, for example, is getting a write-off of 30,000 crore rupees. Does it really deserve that write-off of taxpayer money? And wouldn't we be better off spending that money giving the farmers a write-off at this point?
Look, Faye, let's not try and, confuse too many issues at the same time. What is happening at the Air India is a complete different space that we are talking about, and what is happening as far as the farmer agitation is concerned is a different space we are talking about. Mr. Jha has very eloquently waxed certain vague facts and figures as far as the incompetence of this government is concerned. Now, let me just come to the fact that how competently this government has been addressing the farmer issues from the time we have assumed power. First and foremost, the basic cause of deaths of farmers were lack of irrigational proper facilities And as soon as Devendra Fadnavis took over the reins, he launched the Jal Yukta Shivar, which has been a big success as far as the farming sector is concerned. This year's budget also has got big boost reforms as far as farming is concerned. 1 minute, I have not interrupted you for a single minute. Now, coming to the issue at hand as far as today's agitation is concerned, the Chief Minister has repeatedly met the farmers. You have reported right now on your channel that he's meeting them at 10 p.m. We have 1.34 crore farmers who are debt-ridden or under, who have taken loan. At this point of time, a complete waiver of farm loan is not possible. What we are really going to do and what the Chief Minister has promised, that all the farmers who have come out of the institutional crop credit facility because they have been unable to pay their debts, around 31 lakh farmers, they will first be given relief. And thereafter, in a stepwise manner, we will see to it that there is loan waiver. So to say that the government is insensitive, to say that the government has only made tall promises, in fact, last week of, I think, March or April, I don't get the dates properly, we've had farmer dialogues. In fact, we are engaging in constant dialogues with the farmer. And clearly this is a politicized move. I mean, no farmer today is going to waste his produce, his milk. It's completely politicized. So anybody can wax eloquent figures, but it is a political move to tarnish this government's competent efforts.
Clyde, from the NCP, the NCP has been very strongly involved. I'm going to come to you, Yogesh, but I want Clyde to defend this point. Is it politically motivated? Is the NCP involved in sort of driving the farmers to hike up prices and hold the ordinary citizen to ransom?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Aarti, spoke about Mr. Jha being very eloquent about what he said, but I think she was equally eloquent in actually digressing the whole topic and talking about what actually has been happening around. The BJP is very good at playing delusional politics. Okay, if they want to do something and take the attention away, they will always play delusional politics, which they are known to do. That fact of the matter, Aarti, I did not speak when you were talking, please. So let's do this the right way, please. The fact of the matter is this government has completely turned a blind eye towards the farmers, and they have been insensitive. That's a fact. They do not care about these farmers. That's a fact. Look at the state that we have reached in today. I mean, having dialogues. They had a dialogue which failed. Now the CM is going on to say that I'm going to meet them. And again, every dialogue that they have, they failed. And let me tell you how insensitive they are. When there was a talk about farm loan waivers, the CM goes on to say, are you going to promise me there will be no more suicides if you waive off the loans? How can you pass a insensitive statement like this when there's so much of a problem that is going on here in the state? The agriculture minister goes on a junket to Australia and New Zealand. My question here is, if you can waive off the loans in Uttar Pradesh, why can't you waive the loans here?
But is that the argument that Uttar Pradesh got a farm loan waiver, so we should get a farm loan waiver? How does that make sense?
The point here is, if it can be done, why can't it be done here? Explain to us why can't it be done here.
Has the NCP done a calculation of how much it would cost the government?
Well, see, let me tell you one thing. There are a lot of other things that can be taken into consideration. We have to start a dialogue. The government is not willing to talk where to take this whole thing forward. Look, now in this agitation that is happening, we do not support all this waste of milk and food.
We know that the Chief Minister is meeting with the farming representatives at 10 p.m. tonight. Aarti said that there's a constant conversation happening between the Chief Minister and the farmers, and there are various tweets which we see on our screen.
Their own allies are complaining that we are meeting, but there's nothing happening out of this. So what is it you explain? Bring it out in the open and tell everybody what the facts are.
Yogesh Pandey, go ahead. You disagreed with what Aarti Sate said. Why do you disagree?
What Aarti is saying, this government has betrayed farmers. We are the part of India, this government, and we beg to the farmers to vote this government. But it is very sad state that there is an outburst of indignation of the farmers, akrosh, and we feel ashamed that we beg to farmers to vote this government. For that, on 22nd May, we started a Padyatra for a repentance of our Atmaklesh from Pune to Mumbai. Over 25,000 farmers were in Mumbai, and not a single person from BJP came to face the farmers. On the contrary, these people went to Shivar, the farms of the farmer, to express their marketing, that how good they are, and they don't have any program. 3 years back, Mr. Modi had promised that more than 50% of the cost of farming input they will give to farmer. But after 3 years, they are singing different tune. Then again they started some different tune that within 5 years they will double the income of the farmer. But what is happening? over 3 lakh farmers have committed suicide in the last 15 years. And equivalently, Congress is also responsible. You can't escape the responsibility, Mr. Jha. The Swaminathan report was formed in 2006.
Yes.
And that report said that farmers has to be given a proper adequate minimum support price. That report was kept under the seat for 8 years. And this government came to power on the basis of that report. Now they are playing a different tool. Today, my colleague Ms. Aarti is saying that we are having a meeting with farmer and so on. So we have not been called. We are allies of this government. Mr. Raju Shetty is ally, still is ally. And we had given them ultimatum of 1 month. But they are not calling us, and they are splitting the farmers' agitation in small strategically. And what they are saying that the political parties involved, that is also false. Today, Varna Dudh Sangh and Gokul Dudh Sangh, that is from Rashtravad NCP, and they are also supported by backend by BJP. They brought milk to Mumbai. Again, there is an outcry that prices have increased. I was just seeing your clip that there is prices of the vehicle rise. What about farmers? Farmers have been suffering for last 50 years. Now, if you see the prices of grapes in Nasik, they are 12 rupees kg. If you see the price of onion,
but Yogesh, answer this question. Answer this question as a representative of the farmers. Since you're being a representative of the farmers, we're seeing visuals over the last couple of days of milk being dumped on the roads, of milk being thrown into rivers, of vegetables being dumped on the road. In a country where children go to bed hungry, where is the conscience of dumping milk on the road? Who does that?
No, who? That the milk was dumped. That's why you are arranged and you have called us for this debate. Had there no milk thrown on this thing, when the prices of onion increased by say 20-30 rupees, there is a lot of hue and cry about the citizens in cities, and there is a heinous mentality about all of us. I am also staying in city, that to bargain the farmer produce. If you farmers ask for 5 rupees onion, he'll say give me it at 2. But when you purchase Pepsi, or when you go to mall, or when you go to watch Bahubali, you don't say that 300 ticket, give me 150. And that is the mentality of our. We should be feeling ashamed of this. And the farmers are thugged, and there is lot of frustration, anguish among farmers. And one more thing I want to just complete. That 75% population of this country is farming population. And when we are speaking, what is the loan amount? 30,000 crore. And yesterday I was just going through some reports. 5 lakh crore rupees is been hold bad loans by only 46 corporate. They are Videocon, Lanco, and what they are giving red corporate treatment. What about farmers? And when we are speaking about the farmers thing, everyone. And backendly, in last 2 years in a budget, 35,000 crore rupees was passed to banks to clear the non-performing asset of this thing. And not a single party.
Allow Aarti Sathe to respond. Aarti Sathe, BJP spokesperson, very interesting things being brought up here, that the farmers have to dump milk on the roads, have to destroy food in a country where people are hungry in order to get attention. Do you believe this is politically motivated?
Absolutely. I have no doubt in my mind, though Mr. Yogesh Pandey wants to project as a messiah of farmers, the fact that he is supporting this dumping of
Messiah is BJP, Mr. Modi is Bahubali, you are Messiah, everything is yours.
One minute, I did not, I allowed you to speak, I allowed you to speak, I allowed you to speak, Mr. Yogesh, I did not interrupt in your long monologue.
Okay, alright. Aarti Sathe, let me ask you a question that Yogesh put forward. One second, you calm down.
On and on.
Calm down. Yogesh Pandey, one second. Calm down, sir. Calm down. Aarti Sathe, simple question. Let me rephrase my question. Aarti Sathe, let me rephrase my question.
I allowed you to speak. Yeah,
why don't the farmers have the minimum support price in Maharashtra?
Well, we are working. There is a central and a state government committee which has been formed. Even on 1st of June, a delegation of farmers who met the Chief Minister have been invited to form. 1 minute, you know, all the other panelists were given more than enough chance
nobody's
to speak.
Interrupting you. There must be a problem with the audio. We'll get that fixed. Please go ahead.
And
Aarti.
at the same time, okay, so yeah, maybe, I'm sorry, then maybe I'm getting an echo. At the same time, some delegation which met the Chief Minister on 1st of June, they have also been invited to be a part of this committee. The Chief Minister has also said very, very categorically that we are working towards providing a 24/7 electricity, farm loan waiver, etc. And like I said, the farmers who have been out of the institutional crop credit system will first be given relief. Now, coming to the point, no, wait 1 minute. Coming to the point of the UP farm loan waiver, there has not been a complete farm loan waiver even there. There also it is a phased out manner. There also not all farmers have been given a farm loan waiver. The absolutely debt ridden ones have been given. Secondly, even by helping out the 31 lakh farmers who we are going to right now help out, we are going to expend almost 30,000 crores. During the UPA government, only 7,000 crores were expended as far as farm loan waivers are concerned. So this issue of constantly saying that after this government has come into power, the farmers' woes have increased is absolutely incorrect. The UPA and all its allies have done nothing to even see the plight of the farmers.
Allow me, Aarti Sathe, if I may please. You know, I don't want to waste any time on this show pointing political fingers, saying you did it, we didn't do, you did it. The point is we are at a situation right now where farmers are in distress. We need to accept that. Where farmers are still committing suicide, we need to accept that. That children in our country are still hungry, in our state particularly are still hungry.
Absolutely fair.
And we are at a point where food is becoming more expensive. I don't think we can afford to at all, for any reason, have food become more expensive in this country. How can we have reached this point?
That is exactly
why didn't we solve the problem earlier?
That is exactly why the Chief Minister is meeting them at late hours too.
So the argument is the same, that farmers have to dump milk on the streets in order to get the attention of the government as well?
1 minute. No, that is what I'm saying. That is vandalism. That is vandalism, dumping milk. No farmer in his right sense is going to do that. That's exactly why we are saying that it's a political gimmickry. Why would any farmer want to really waste his produce? This is all incited by political gimmickries of opposition parties who do not see the development work to be carried out.
I don't agree to this point.
Now you're blaming the farmers for protesting.
And at the same time, today, if we...
You know, okay, let's go. Let me just take this question to Chengal Reddy. Chengal Reddy is a farming activist who joins us from Hyderabad.
But the farmers will not dump their produce. Let me be very clear.
Farmers will not dump their produce. Chengal Reddy represents farmers. Chengal Reddy, will farmers, at what do you believe that farmers would have actually dumped their own produce? And if yes, under what circumstances you believe a farmer or a dairy farmer would dump their produce on the road instead of taking it to the market?
In fact, this agitation would have been taken up almost in every part of the country. It's not Mumbai alone, probably Delhi, Bangalore, Madras, everywhere. By now, farmers would have totally stopped supply of milk and vegetables. What many people do not understand in this country, see, agriculture we are successful, but farmers are extremely unhappy. Here in Maharashtra, the reason why they respond very fast is there are some historical reasons. See, almost 90% is rain-fed agriculture. And then there are a series of problems. I know I have statistical data. In Maharashtra, in 15 years' time, they have a number of floods and drought. If you see, every farmer, at least 2-3 lakhs of indebtedness is there. And it so happens in Maharashtra, there is a great deal of farmers' awareness because of Sharad Joshi and all that. So there is always this response from Maharashtra farmers to take up agitation. But here the issue today is not Maharashtra actually. It's okay, my friends from Maharashtra, Ahmednagar, Nasik, they have taken up. But across the country there is a serious thinking amongst the farmers as to how to get these farmers' problems permanently solved. Now, here is a situation, there is nothing to do with politics or a political party. I think if any political leader sitting there as a representative and he talks blaming each other, that is not fair and correct. See, don't forget for a minute, that is, it is the Maharashtra strongman, Mr. Sharad Pawar, who was heading Congress agriculture leadership for 10 years. So this party came only 2 years. The entire Swaminathan report was there laying before him for almost 8 years. I mean, nothing has happened. Now the point today, here in the discussion is that in Maharashtra this is now taken up, and you can be rest assured that it will spread maybe in a matter of few months across the country. There is going to be a serious problem. what I want to submit, madam, please don't think, see, these political people don't say it's politics and all that. This is a way of showing their frustration, anger, disappointment with governments. It's not that Mr. BJP is there or Miss Congress is there. We have nothing to do with them. They come and go.
All right.
But our problems have been continuous. That's why Maharashtra farmers have come to the street. It's not that they deliberately do it. They never do it because it's only a showing a way of their frustration. That's all.
Satyajit, I have this question for you. If the Chief Minister tonight meets with farmers and offers them a compromise of some sort, because we cannot have the food shortage continue through the weekend into Monday. We will run out of milk in the city. We can't have the cities of Mumbai and Delhi run out of milk. If there is a compromise, do you believe farmers will accept this compromise? Because we know out of the demands, we know a couple of things. The state government of Maharashtra doesn't have the money to do a farm loan waiver. Point number one. The state government of Maharashtra doesn't have the electricity to provide unlimited power supply. So it's not in the possession of the resources to meet the demands of these farmers.
Yeah, Faye. I've been listening to all the politicians speaking. And when I made my opening comment, the spokesperson from Congress, Sanjay, said that, we can blame it to the British and to the Mughals and stuff. So there's an attitude of making fun out of what farmers are presently facing. I'm not blaming Sanjay alone, but when you see politicians speaking, they're mudslinging and they're throwing blame game on each other. But it's not a short-term problem where you have quick fix solutions for a farmer problem. It's a deep-rooted problem. Where is the commitment to a long-term solution? Where is it seen? I mean, the previous government didn't show it. That's the reason why farmers elected and supported this government. But in the last 3 years in Maharashtra, quick fix, forget the quick fix. Where is the long-term commitment? Where is the long-term strategy? Where is the steps taken towards a long-term solution? And like you said, if the Honorable CM does show the commitment and, farmers will trust what he did in the last 3 years, that's very important. And what has happened in the last 3 years is not very encouraging. So if that commitment is there, if that promise is there, and if there is a long-term plan, I believe farmers are there for a solution. Farmers don't want to stop and don't want to see what they grow with so much love and passion and, on the road and going for waste. So, of course, we will trust a person, we will trust the government if there's a long-term solution and if it is convincing. And we will believe and we will trust their history of the last 3 years also.
Satyajit, I want to read out to you the messages of the Chief Minister that were put up on Twitter today, and I want you to respond to them. He said, we're enacting a law to make agriculture produce purchased below MSP punishable as an offence. We're giving better market to farmers and processing units in group farming. He says also the government is toiling for farmers. For the first time, we got 12.5% growth rate for agriculture. While addressing a press conference after this meeting, the Chief Minister said we're open for discussion and positive on the issues. Do you believe that this government has been working hard enough? Do you believe these statements being made by the Chief Minister? Because these sound like positive moves made by the state government.
I believe that the government is working towards a solution because even they know that the reason why they've been elected is all these farmer problems and farmers in woes. And farmers were the main support base as to why they're in power today. So I believe that there is, an action towards it. But I want to question the Honorable CM's commitment, the 3 commitments that you read out. What have you done in the last 3 years? What has the government done in the last 3 years? That we believe that you will do it in the next 2 years. So 60% of your term is over. Where are I'm not asking for the result, but where is the start? Where is the start to all these 3 solutions?
That's an excellent question. In fact, Vikram from Himachal Pradesh has called us right now. Vikram, go ahead.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I am a farmer. I want to speak on the behalf of my brethren as I have seen the sweat and toil since childhood.
Yes.
Political parties come and go, but no one is bothered about us.
Yes.
Filled with anger and disgust, I always wondered why we don't give up. Everybody goes on strike, doctors, lawyers, bankers, but we never give up.
The farmer just continues working. Vikram, that's an excellent point. Aarti Sathe, Satyajit is asking a very pointed question. What has the government done? What has the government done in the last 3 years to prove that the promises are being kept?
You give me around.
Very pointed question. What has the government done? What has the government done in the last 3 years?
Hello.
Aarti, can you hear me?
Faye, can I make a point?
Yeah, Sanjay Jha, go ahead.
Yeah. Can you please repeat that, Faye?
1 second. Sanjay Jha, go ahead.
Yeah, Faye, my short point is I don't want to make this into some kind of a political slugfest. I agree with everybody. This is a sensitive issue of rural interest that we need to talk about with, I think, great degree of political maturity. My 2 points here will be, where our government was concerned, we waved aside a historic 70,000 crores of farm loans. We were criticized by the BJP in particular. Also remember that, when we talked about the food security, when we talked about all the other kind of initiatives which are rights-based to actually help the farming community, they were a recognition that this is one sector that is diminishing in terms of its contribution to the GDP, while at the same time there is a massive workforce and there's a huge farming community of over 68%. So there is a lopsided, kind of impact in terms of the number of people dependent on rural life of India, and at the same time their contribution to overall national income. So clearly there is a need to, invest more in agriculture. I think the problem that we are having today is that, one, yes, I agree that the agriculture is also a state subject, but end of the day, it's important for the center to recognize that this is not a problem that you can treat on a tactical basis of, if there's good monsoons, let's leave it to, let's leave it to hollow promises of doubling the income by 2022. Now, let's look at the logic of such ridiculous promises. If you want to double the income of farmers by 2022, agriculture needs to grow by 12 to 13% a year. They are growing at, the first 2 years was minus 1% and 1%, and 1 year you have had roughly 5%. So, I think these are false estimates.
I want to ask this question of Chengal Reddy and the other two representatives of farmers.
But the truth is that we are not doing enough.
I want to ask this question of Chengal Reddy and the other two farmers, and I want to tell you, I'm the daughter of a farmer myself. I come from a farming family. I understand how hard it is when someone has to toil in the manner that they have to, completely dependent on the weather, where one bad turn of weather can completely destroy months of work. And then the money that a farmer makes, viewers, has to be used to buy more seed, more fertilizer, pay interest, pay loans, and perhaps buy some machinery, pay for electricity. There's very little left at the end of it. I want to understand from you, Chengal Reddy, do you believe the farm loan waiver is the only solution? When the previous government, the UPA government, did it a few years ago, everybody turned around and said this was just for votes. My question is, so many years later, have we not come up with any other solution for our farm sector? Is farm loan waiver the only solution we have?
No. Actually, you must understand that it is Government of India who is responsible for this mess of farmers across the country today, not state government. They are hardly capable of doing anything. If you see between 2004 and 12, you see 14, 12, see you remember the Swaminathan committee report came because initially Congress realized there is a distress, and then the report came, Congress itself failed to implement. Now this gentleman, Mr. Modi, has come. He is also, see, during the budget, during the manifesto and election speeches, he gave a lot of things, but he didn't implement. Now let us be clear about one thing. It's high time that people across the country should realize that, first of all, saying agriculture is a state subject, it shows your ignorance. Agriculture is not. The entire agriculture livelihood is controlled by Government of India. Look at that. Cost of production, MSP is fixed by Government of India. Your procurement is by Government of India. Your risk mitigation insurance is by Government of India. Your research is by Government of India. Your Manrega and mechanization is by Government of India. The whole problem has come in 2-3 manners. So I'll tell you very simple. Firstly, if you see in the 20, 25, 30 years, it was always a negative income. That is, as Saraj Joshi said long time back, the great man. See, when I invest a lakh of rupees, I get only 80,000-90,000 rupees. This is what many people do not understand. And second thing, what happens every 3-4 years, there is a crop loss, and it is never replaced by government or insurance or anybody. And third aspect is, look at Maharashtra or any place. You have 70% under rain-fed conditions, there is nothing. Now look at in this Congress, they started about 10 years back, this Manrega. The production cost of labor, fertilizer, pesticides, everything has gone up so much. Today, if I invest a lakh of rupees, I don't even get 60,000-70,000 rupees. So this has made farmers a perpetual slaves. What I call them a debt slaves. Today, This particular problem in Maharashtra, it is only a boil across the country that's going to explode. Maybe I don't know when it will explode. Right. Because one thing very disappointing today, this Maharashtra issue is very simple. This is Mr. Modi in 2014 in Ludhiana. Mr. Modi said he will pay minimum support price at cost of production plus 50%. The BJP manifesto has given it in writing. Now what I want to ask BJP both in Maharashtra and Delhi is, how is that Mr. Modi is supposed to be a very eminent, capable chief minister? He knows. And when the BJP manifesto was prepared, we all represented, they agreed. How is it in 3 years' time?
We've not gotten minimum support price. I want to ask Aarti Sathe that question. Aarti Sathe said the government is working on it.
Implement these 2-3 simple things. What's the problem with you people?
Aarti Sathe, the government, you said the government is working on the minimum support price. I want to ask you, first of all, how long will it take? How long will this work take on the minimum support price? Second question, Aarti Sathe, why is it that the government of Maharashtra cannot afford the farm loan waiver right now?
See, we cannot afford as far as the minimum support price, like I said even earlier on the show, that definitely all this is being worked out. In fact, in the finance minister's speech of this year, if you have seen our budgetary allocations for the rural sector and the farming sector, it has been a phenomenal amount. At the same time, we have seen to it that the infrastructure in the farming industry will be improved by investments. We have also ensured that the irrigable land which is available to the farmers is increased. In fact, Maharashtra in that sense has pioneered by starting the Jal Yukta Shivar. We have bought a lot of irrigable land by this program. We have increased the electricity generation as a result of which the load shedding has reduced, and hence the farmers will, and we are working towards giving them 24/7 electricity. Coming back to your second question. No, 1 minute. Coming to your question as to why we are unable to spend right now the entire amount for farm loan waiver is because, like I said, we have inherited a legacy of a huge deficit. We have inherited a legacy.
Okay, one second. Clyde, I'll come to you. Aarti Sathe, I'm not going to let you run that answer one more time.
Political mudslinging here.
No, I just want you to answer one question for me, Aarti Sathe. The government of Maharashtra has budgeted 4,500 crore rupees for statues. 4,500 crore rupees for statues.
50,000 crore rupees for Samruddhi Highway, 1 lakh crore for bullet train, and farmers' loan is only 30,000 crore. And if you go,
farmers are dying of desperation, when out of 36 districts are in drought, why are we affording this luxury of 4,500 crore rupees on statues? Do we really need the statues, or do we need to save our farmers? What forms the backbone of our economy and our country, Aarti?
Are we saying, one minute. You know, it's a basic logic that when a budget is prepared, there are sectors to which allocation is made. We are not saying that we are making no allocation to the farming sector, but at the same time to say that don't make allocation to any other sector but only do it to the farming sector will lead into a very lopsided development. We have to see to it that we have to give the Samruddhi corridor which he just mentioned is also infrastructural development to which we are. One minute. The Samruddhi corridor which he just mentioned is also infrastructure spend which we are doing. It's not that we are doing a spend for anything
there are 4 highways for
Coming
Nagpur.
to the point of the statue, the statue was not something which we have started.
Why do you need one
minute.
Aarti Sathe, let's go with statistics. Aarti Sathe, in this year's budget of the Maharashtra government 2016-17, agriculture got an allocation of 3,360 crore rupees allocated this year compared to the 5,503 crore rupees allocated the previous year. Why was there a drop in the relief package to farmers against drought and natural calamities this year in comparison to last year? Why was there a drop? Why did you drop the allocation in the relief package? And I'm reading this out of the government of Maharashtra. There was a drop of nearly 2,000 crore rupees. Why was there a drop of 2,000 crore rupees in this number?
Look, if this entire debate is going to be on the fact that the government is insensitive, then I think the entire tenor of the debate is wrong. Now, if there may have been a drop due to certain budgetary allocations to which we had to give priority, will you please stop interrupting me? Will you please stop interrupting me? If you are going to stop interrupting me, I will be able to answer. Otherwise, you all can continue your monologue. We are at the same time implementing parallel systems to make the farmers self-sufficient. And the fact that we have had a 10,000... No, 1 minute. You can't just keep asking me questions before I answer, okay? Now, the fact that we have spent almost 10,000 crore to bring certain irrigation facilities, that itself goes to show that we are making the farmers self-sufficient. We are making it such a situation that there will be a turnaround, and budgetary allocations for various other sectors also have to be made. So to say that there has been a cut this year and hence you all are insensitive as a government is a highly incorrect statement to make. In fact, in the union budget, this time the thrust has only been on agricultural economy. And that's how it is going to be as far as this government is concerned.
All right, Clyde.
Well, there's a lot of rosy picture being painted about how good the government is and all that.
I was silent. Let me speak.
Yes. I'm going to go around to everybody on the panel one by one. Gentlemen, one by one. Clyde, very quickly, one by one.
No.
Yes. Clyde, one by one.
My point is that such a rosy picture is being painted and how the growth is by 12% and all that. See, a lot of factors that have gone to the growth. Okay, last time there was a good monsoon. Now, due to the good monsoon, there was a good produce of the tur dal. Now, the point here is, all farmers have gone and registered in the NAFED office their tur dal. Why has the government not bought that tur dal yet? A lot of farmers have been going there for the last 3 months trying to sell their tur dal. The CM promised that the tur dal will be bought at 5,000 rupees a quintal. There has been on record, the APMC president from Vidarbha itself has gone on record to say that we've had to sell up a produce for 4,000 rupees a quintal because the government is not buying it. We sell it to the traders. At the end of the day, the trader will go and sell it to the government for 1,000 rupee profit. The profit that the farmer was supposed to make from the government, the traders are making it. So isn't this insensitivity? I mean, you can keep saying we are doing this, we are doing that, but the fact of the matter is all there in front of you to see. Let's talk about the tur dal. Let's talk about one point at a time. What is happening to tur dal buying from the government?
In fact, we are in fact...
That's right.
We have in fact tried to cut down on the traders and the middlemen by asking farmers to come and sell their produce directly to the people.
You're still on record. It's not been bought.
The government is doing
Why don't you bring out the statistics in the open?
The APMCs are still live and kicking. I promised Satyajit I'll give him the opportunity. Satyajit, go ahead.
I'm sorry. In fact, there is no shortage in the APMC even today. As of today, after the strike, there is no shortage in the APMC.
Well, that's not true. That's not true. In fact, one second.
Farmers' tour is lying.
We've spoken. We've visited. Let me tell you. We've spoken to farmers.
Please, let's speak of facts.
Okay, Yogesh.
No. You can't go and keep play the words and make a gimmicks. Now, one more thing I want to clarify. That there is a lot of confusion about this farmer strike. What you are saying that farmer milk is being dumped, that is totally untrue. That is not correct. Farmers have declared that they are not going to sow, they are not going to cultivate, and they are going to just produce that much what is required for them. This is a totally democratic right. You cannot force anyone to cultivate for others. So the statement and all what you are showing and what your discussion is going, it is not correct. It's very unfair for the parts of farmer. Society should be little bit sensible towards them. Now, second part, what my gentle Ms. Swati Sati was telling about the tour and other stuff, that is also not correct. Yeah, the government, if government has got willingness, they can waive the loan. There are a lot of ways, but they are not even discussing. On one side, their spokesperson is making very insensitive statements. Their ministers and they are going. Their president, Mr. Danve said he used the ugly word "sale" to the farmer, and this is the showing what is the attitude of this government towards farmers. There are 3 years already has been gone for center, 2.5 years for a state government, and hardly 2 years are left, and they are just going for giving promises. Nothing more in last. Now, let the government come and speak.
Let the government come and speak. Right. Yogesh, 1 second. I want to respond to what Aarti Sate said, that there is no shortage in any of the wholesale markets, APMC markets. We went out, our reporters went out, spoke to people who were buying, spoke to people who are wholesale traders. Listen.
I said APMC, not all.
APMC Vashi. APMC Vashi we visited today. Listen to the impact. Listen to the people on the ground.
हमारा 2 दुकान है इधर और आज मार्केट बंद होने की वजह से इतना तकलीफ है और कोई भाजी मार्केट में है ही नहीं और यहाँ कस्टमर आकर वापस जा रहे हैं और भाजी तो मार्केट में है ही नहीं और जो है भी इतना भाव 40 रुपया किलो पत्ता गोभी है और धनिया छोटी बंडल 120 रुपया बंडल है तो आदमी क्या खरीदेगा क्या खाएगा गरीब आदमी तो खा ही नहीं सकता है और होटल वाले को भी सप्लाई नहीं जा पा रहा है और प्रॉब्लम है। इसका सलूशन हमारी सरकार को निकालना चाहिए। क्या सलूशन है किसान को देखते हुए व्यापारी देखते हुए यहाँ के जितने रहवासी सबको देखते हुए सलूशन को निकालना चाहिए।
बहुत फर्क हो रहा है। कल ऐसा था जो 20 रुपये किलो भाजी था आज डायरेक्ट 100 रुपये किलो भाजी मार्केट में हुआ है, उससे बहुत फर्क गिरा है। क्योंकि हम लोग भी धंधा करने वाले यहीं से माल लेके जाने वाला, जब माल ही नहीं आएगा मंडी में तो जहाँ 50 ट्रक आता था वो जगह पे 10 ट्रक आ रहा है और बम्बई इतना बड़ा है कि कोई भी लेने के लिए भाजी कोई भी दाम देने के लिए तैयार है, मगर आम आदमी तो नहीं खरीद सकते हैं ना भाजी।
That is the report we got on the ground today. Suresh Acharya is on the phone line from Karnataka. Suresh, I know you've been holding your phone for a while. Suresh, if you're still with us, we can hear you now. Okay, Suresh doesn't seem to be with us. Yeah, Suresh, go ahead. Go ahead, Suresh.
Actually, as Mr. Reddy said, rightly said, the Swaminathan report is a mirror of previous government. So I don't want to ask question to Mr. Jha and NCP people because already 10 years they looted, we know, and Swaminathan report is already is mirror for them. On that basis, Fadnavis government came to power and we expected farmer suicide should decrease. But every day it is increasing and unfortunately the farmer poor children's food are not able to, they are not able to, they take home food, Anganwadi food are looted by this government. And at the same time, farmers not given right price. And 10 to 15 middlemen are there from farmer to consumer. With APMC and all that, all NCP people are, looted.
Right. Sunil. So this is the problem of the farmers, that if you have a bad rain and you don't have a crop, then you have a problem. If you have a good monsoon and if you have a bumper crop, you have a further problem. So where will the farmers go? Sunil Verma is on the phone line from Mumbai. Sunil, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. I just want to ask, the way of protest, is this the only way to protest, wherein you dump the milk and produce the vegetables and all when there is a drought happening in state, and also there are farmers are committing suicide. So is this the only way to protest? There could have been a better way to protest. It looks like it's more politicized rather than anything else. That's my feel about it.
Well, everybody, I know that everyone in the city is asking this question. There was a outcry really about the visual of the milk being dumped on the roads. I personally thought it was very disturbing that in a country with so many children who are malnourished and hungry, we are throwing milk away. Chengal Reddy, is this the only way for farmers to protest, by dumping produce on the road?
Yes, I would rather say that probably those of you in cities and organized sectors, you are yet to see the fury of farmers. You don't understand what has happened to farming community. See, this is only a very, very small thing. If given a chance today, we are so unhappy with this government. See, if Mr. Modi, this says it is a farmers' government in the last 3 years, is a big joke. The only 2 things Mr. Modi has done. He changed the Minister of Agriculture to Minister of Farmers' Welfare, and he started a TV, probably which others could have done in 2 days' time. Now, look at the whole situation today. Actually, if you feel that dumping milk is bad, we are committing suicide. So look at what the other way around. You see, is there any farmer in this country who is not indebted? You tell me that. One single thing. And look at the way, in the last 25, 30 years, has these governments allowed to pay profitable price to one commodity? See, this lady Maharashtra, the government representative, was telling about pricing and all that. It's not in her hands or the chief minister's hands. It is government of India, Mr. Modi, who has to fix the minimum support price. And he announced it during his elections, included it in BJP manifesto, which is applicable both to Maharashtra Chief Minister. And he didn't maintain it. And look at the procurement part of it. There is hardly any procurement. And do you know, in the last 3 years, ma'am, Mr. Modi saw to it that every commodity price is lower, because he was always interested, obviously, in the middle class or urbanites or in so-called economy to control the so-called inflation. This is all manipulated. You see, I don't want to criticize XYZ. The very simple point is, today this debate which you have said, I am sorry that you said it only Maharashtra. This has nothing to do with Maharashtra. Maharashtra, this even in Maharashtra, is only some 7 districts. The whole country, 560 districts, all the 5 lakhs villages, we would have dumped every damn thing in the roads and saw to it that none of your city people get even drinking water. We would even destroy the electric lines and destroy even the water supply to your city people for 10 days or even months. Then only you will realize what the anger of this farmer in this, because of these politicians and these people who are not concerned about the farmers. Only thing, I am only telling you one thing. See, whatever the debates are happening, ma'am, it's okay, but let me caution these people in the political system. The time is coming, because we know farmers are very difficult to unite and fight unitedly, but things are slowly happening, they are getting united. Today the debate in Maharashtra is only a simple, it is symbolic, it is only on the periphery. This 8 districts around Ahmednagar and all that. Why? I am asking a very simple question to my Maharashtrian friends. Why is that there is no agitation in Chandrapur or Nagpur or other places? Because there again the problem of farmers' leadership ability to come. The only problem today this particular debate has shown is, this is an indication to my friends in Mumbai or media or intellectuals or politicians or economists, that the farmers are so happy, as you just now said. Do you think you will throw away milk? No, we won't, but we are doing it.
Okay, I want to also bring in Satyajit. Satyajit, do you believe that farmers are as desperate across the country right now?
Maybe if time comes.
That this is a sign of desperation, Satyajit?
Yeah, it's going to happen.
It is, it is naturally a sign of desperation.
It's a matter of time when this volcano will burst.
Satyajit.
Yeah, we are extremely desperate, no doubt. I mean, my friend from Bombay who asked this question, that is it right to spill milk over on the road? You have seen that visual, so you are disturbed. I think we should show the urban people visuals of farmers committing suicide or the state of farmers in a rural area. And then they will be sensitized as to what a farmer goes through. A liter or 10 liters or 100 liters of milk spilled compared to what he goes through the entire year is nothing. So, I mean, it's his blood that turns to water.
See, you people have a habit of going on strike, having lunch and then going on strike. You have 100 methods of going on strike, showing your protest, showing your lobby, showing your...
Farmer is a victim of uncontrolled use of energy by urban people. Now, if you see, there is a carbon emission, lot of air conditioners...
One second, you all are speaking at the same time. The audience can't understand you.
You get much more of it.
Right, Mr. Chengal Reddy, 1 second. Yogesh, go ahead. Yogesh.
Yeah, farmers are a victim of uncontrolled use of energy by urban people. If you see, there is a climatic imbalance, and the farmer is a manufacturer of oxygen, but his price of oxygen is not calculated in his produce. When we calculate the price of corporate produce, the amount spent by VP, Vice President on the parties and traveling is in the bills of that product. But when it comes to farmers, his labor is not included. And the amount, what other allied things he supports, that are included. The farmer is victim of all these circumstances, and the people of the urban people should be sensible towards farmer, and they are bargaining. There is a mentality among the, even farmer offer free, they'll ask kuch sasta deta hai kya? You see, the person coming in a car by 10 lakh rupees car, when we go to purchase tomato, 10 rupees kilo, he'll ask 5 mein deta hai kya? This is the mentality, and all the society should change this attitude. All are responsible, not only and we should not keep blaming each other. The first thing is that attitude of the mindset of the people has to be changed.
Right, okay. That's an excellent point for me to wrap up this conversation on. There is a desperate situation for the people who are watching in our big cities. Remember that the situation is desperate. We're going to be watching very closely to see what the government of Maharashtra does, not just to appease this particular problem and put it away, but to provide the farmers with the support they need in water, in loans and in electricity, because that's a basic right. There is no farmer in any part of this country that deserves less water, electricity than you and I do in our cities. Consider the level of desperation a human being has to arrive at to take his own life and leave his family, his wife and children with no one and completely in debt. That is the desperation that our farmers are at. These are the people who put food on our plates. We are a farming nation. We are an agricultural nation. We learnt it in our textbooks when we were children. This is what it means. Thousands and thousands and millions of farmers across our country toil month after month after month so that we can put food on our children's plates, so that it's available at a good price in the market around the corner from you. Our farmers are desperate. We have to stand by them. We have to realize what they're going through. Urban India and rural India are not two separate countries. Remember, if rural India is desperate, urban India is going to feel the pinch, like we're feeling this weekend in Mumbai and Pune. If we don't support our farmers, if we don't demand from our educated high horses that our governments do right and do better by our farmers, we're not going to get food, our children are not going to get milk. It's as simple as that. We must demand that our farmers get treated better. We must demand that they get reasonable loans at reasonable rates and they're not required to borrow from moneylenders, even if they don't have the papers and they don't have the land. We must demand that our farmers get electricity, that they get water, that they have right to life and livelihood, as guaranteed to them in the Constitution, just like it is guaranteed to you and me. Thanks for watching.